Hello guys, and welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix. You are joining me for today's STPL journey. We are currently watching Valhalla team versus Media. We just saw two pretty good TVTs, but for those of you who are not so well inclined for the TVT matchup, you'll be happy to know our next game is not going to feature any Terrans whatsoever. And that's because it's going to be a ZVP. Now let's actually have a look at who our players are going to be. So for Media, we're going to have Machine. Now Machine didn't have the best last round last time, but he did just come back to the game pretty much, and he was against some of the strongest players in the league. And hi Kingmac, hi Cooperativa, I think I said your name right. Welcome to the stream, hopefully you enjoy the show. But Machine last round did go 1 for 6 unfortunately. Did lose against the two Protosses he played against, but he played against some incredibly good ones. He did win his first match in round 3, and he's going to be up against a player who also won their first match in round 3. It's going to be Valhalla team's SFCA. He is their co-captain. I don't know too much about him, but he did win PVC last week, so sorry, 1 second, lost my words. Let's see how he does here as we move on to our third map of today. It's going to be Neo Ground Zero. Now Neo Ground Zero have currently had 7 ZVPs on here already. It's been quite balanced so far in terms of statistics. VT, I believe, are American and South American, so both these teams from the Americas. So a little bit of a continental rivalry. We're going to see a rematch of SA versus NA. At least I believe Valhalla are mostly South American even. But it's going to be a ZVP here. It's going to be Media's Machine versus Valhalla team's SFCA. Let's not waste any more time. Let's head on to the into the game, and let's get started with this great CVP. Thank you very much for the follow, Raza. Right, okay, here we go. Starting us off here in the 10 o'clock position, we do have the White Zerg fighting for Media. It's gonna be Machine. And starting us off here in the top right 2 o'clock position, we do have the Teal Protoss fighting for Valhalla team. It's gonna be SFCA. Now let's see what opening we're going to have from Machine. Machine has been a pretty big advocate of overpull in CVP. He's also done a few 12 hatches as well. But he's not going to really want a 12 hatch, not that he knows this just yet, because he's going to be up against a Forge expand, so he can get cannon rushed, especially on this map. There's not that many good cannon locations, but I believe you can actually wall in a cannon up here with this, at least against drones early on. But it's going to be an Overlord popping up here and a pull. So overpull again from Machine, relatively middle of the road build, not too economic, not too aggressive. Just allows you to get that pull up early enough to deal with Gateway Expand, which is very, very popular at the moment. I know SFCA are going to be building a Forge first, so that's going to allow him to be pretty aggressive early. It's going to allow him to defend his expansion with an attack, so okay, so we're going to have the probe scouting in the correct direction first of all. Is Machine going to be able to get the hatchery down? Yes, he is. Hatchery goes down there. He's going to be feeling pretty good about that. Doesn't get that delayed too much. Isn't forced to take a mineral only as a third or anything crazy like that. Wait. Probe can attack from that far away on a diagonal. This is insane. I call balance issues. Oh no, that's just a joke. But SFCA going to be saving up for his Nexus behind this. We see a cannon on the way as well. That cannon's going to allow him to defend against these early lings. Of course, with the probe in the base, he's going to see that two sets of lings have been created, and he's going to see that he's going back to drones as well. So one cannon should be enough to really defend against this. We should see the gateway coming in before a second cannon, I would imagine. But SFCA could always add a second cannon if he wants to be a little bit more careful. We're going to have the pylon coming up in the main ready for the core, and it looks like it is going to be the gateway. And I would say that's a very, very standard maneuver. Now, Machine is doing a really good job keeping his probe alive against the Zerglings. And now one thing is, keeping a probe alive is... it's easy and it's difficult. Obviously the probe can regenerate a lot of its shields quite quickly as long as you don't get hit. So just in these sorts of moments here is regenerating quite a lot of its health. But obviously when Zergling speed comes in, which we don't see just yet because I believe Machine is likely going to go into a lair first behind this. Just based on the fact he is on 2 hatcheries and saving up for 150 gas. I think he's going to go for some kind of 2-hatch lair play, but the trouble is he has to get rid of the probe, because if the probe sees, oh okay, there's going to be a 3rd hatchery down here, and I'm apparently blind, but it's going to be probably 3-hatch lair behind this. Speed hasn't actually started just yet, so yeah, there we go. It's going to be lair at the natural. The probe, not going to see that possibly. Machine still needs to kill this. If the probe sees the lair, this could be a pretty big deal. Now, the probe still hasn't seen a 3rd hatchery yet in the main, which wouldn't be all that crazy, but there's still no Zealot here to come and confirm this. But this probe going to be very, very close to scouting. It looks like he's not going down the ramp. He doesn't want to lose his position in the main, so he's going to assume that speed is coming up first. And I mean, the probe is going to notice that the Zergling speed hasn't finished yet, so should know something is up. But he's not sent an additional scout. Now the Zealot is going to be moving out into the natural, going to see the lair eventually. But this is a lot of lost information by SFCA. Now back at home, SFCA going to be going into a Stargate behind this. Stargate does give him the ability to get the Corsairs early, defend against any possible airplay that could be coming his way. And interestingly, SFCA is going to see the Spire before he sees a lair, so the lair will get spotted now by the Zealot moving into the natural. There's going to be a 3-hatch lair play from Machine. This doesn't necessarily have to be for Mutalisks. Zealot in a very, very nice position actually. Look at that, the surface area going to be so wow, actually that's better for the Lings than I thought it would be. But he's trying to do the best he can, but only taking down 2 Lings. Not going to be a good use or a good trade of that Zealot. Now the probe's still alive in the main, but now speed is done. It's going to be very hard to keep it alive. You can see he's going to move down, confirm that the lair's there, confirm the 4th hatchery is on the way. Now back home we see the Sentinel coming in, an additional gateway being added on as well. Now he's not got a full wall right now, and he doesn't have many cannons, so could he get Ling busted? That is certainly something that Machine could do. Now Machine isn't well known for being super aggressive, unlike his teammate G5. But it is something that we might see as a reactionary play from this. Ling Bus very, very strong. I know Cadenzi does really like going for Ling Bus behind this kind of, or against this kind of play, because against 1 cannon, what is the Protoss realistically going to do? The only unit you have is a single Zealot, a lot of probes, and you have a Corsair. That's very, very little damage, but Machine happy to go into the late game. Not going to go for a reactionary Zergling all-in or anything. Going to get his Hydros upgrades and maybe look to punish this a different way. But the Ling going to move in. Going to see that it's not tight. Is he going to actually move in here? No, he's not. He's actually just sending his Lings out to scout. We see the 5th hatchery coming up. Evolution Chamber to help all this off at the 3rd base. And we're going to see 2 sets of Scourge moving in, trying to find the Corsairs. They're going to be in the main though, behind 2 cannons. So they're going to be pretty hard to pick off, but could he get the 3rd one as it pops out? Looks like he is going to try and do it. Looks like he's going for it, but does lose the Scourge almost immediately, and that's going to force him to turn around. Now we're going to have Sunken Colonies, likely a Spore Colony coming up at each base as well. Obviously we've got the Spire done, no upgrades on the Spire. Going to be focusing on those Hydros upgrades for now. Good scouting as well by Machine, keeping tabs on if the Protoss has hidden any expansions or anything crazy like that. Wants to make sure he doesn't die to anything. And you know what, I would say that's a few too many practice games with G5 if I'm going to be completely honest. Because G5 very well known for taking those hidden expansions. Looks like we are going to have 3 gateways for the Protoss. Light Speed just finishing up. Templar Archives on the way. So fairly standard fare now as we head into the mid game. +1 attack has just... oh wow, he's actually pushing up with +1. +1 incredibly delayed actually for SFCA. So it's kind of lucky the Machine didn't go for some kind of bust because he would be in a lot of trouble. I know it looks like SFCA is going to be the one who wants to push forward, wants to try and do damage, but he's going to be running into a lot of Hydralisks. Oh, the Scourge! Sorry, I yawned as I was screaming that, but the Scourge getting one connection on the Corsairs, forcing them back. Can't really afford to lose these early on. Kind of an interesting movement animation for the Corsairs moving at this angle. But not really going to be able to get too much done. Scourge kind of moving out off to the side to try and come in a little bit later. Now we do have the Zealots kind of grouping up here for whatever reason. Now, whether or not that's a misclick or whether or not he was going for a flank, but they're going to be scouted out by the Scourge. Machine, incredibly on top of his scouting information this game, is just constantly checking those extra bases, checking what's going on. A nice connection. Oh, 2 of the Corsairs actually go down to Scourge. That's a great move. And another Corsair got hit as well. But the Hydra number is so big right now. Hydra's coming in from both bases. He's going to look to end this here. There's still only a single cannon, or 2 cannons now. 3rd cannon coming in the way. Storm is not yet finished. And this could be a big timing for Machine to end the game incredibly quickly. Well, I say incredibly quickly, just compared to the TVTs we had. This Corsair going to move in to try and scout what's going on. Not really going to be able to see too much, but will see that there's a lot of Hydralisks at his front. He's going to be able to try and hold on. Machine, I feel, is actually a little bit too worried about the Storm. The Storm is going to be ready soon. But he's going to need the Storm of a century. And there it is. Is it a great Storm? It's a pretty good one. Gets 7 Hydralisks there. But still, he doesn't have that much in defense. The cannons, though, have managed to hold until the extra cannons are done. A Machine looks like he's admitting, I cannot bust this now. He's pulling back. We see another Corsair heading over to scout again. I think he actually lost most of his Corsairs in the middle of the map, so that's going to be a big issue for him. Has he actually scouted the bottom base? He did go in earlier, but I don't know whether or not that was after or before the 3rd base was there, so this could be a little bit of an interesting situation. He should know that this is going to be up by now. He should know there's a 3rd base, but he can't really confirm anything at the moment. He's going to be adding up to 8 gateways now. Going to be going into a robo. Should see an observatory coming up in the top left as well. Extra pylon to help scout the sort of top left of his base. Going to be using those to sort of give him vision. Also allows him to build gateways and stuff there later on. The mains on this map are incredibly large. Now we do have speed overlords right now. Is he getting dropped behind this? Or is he going to be heading into there? Looks like we're going to have a 3rd evolution chamber coming up. +1 carapace. +1 melee. Coming up, Spore Colony at the front as well with another Creep Colony. 4th base coming up for Machine now. Let me just double check the upgrades. It's actually, yeah, so he has +1 ground attack. Sorry, range attack even. So this is going to be for +2 range. That should start pretty quickly as soon as he has the money for it. Not going to go into Hive straight away, but he is going to be able to add on some more Creep Colonies back here just to sort of solidify his position. Going to be playing the Savior style of Zerg from back in the day, where you take that 3rd as your natural and you try and go from there. Now, melee attack nearly done, lots of Sunkens, lots of Creep Colonies coming up, and he knows he's in a great position. All he has to do is kind of weather the storm, as it were, pun intended. And this is how he's going to choose to do it. He's splitting his Lurkers incredibly well, but needs to make sure he... Yeah, okay, there we go. He does burrow. There is a lot of Storm here, though, for SFCA. At least 3 Templars here. He does have Observers with this as well, so the Observer going to be able to clean up everything. Nice Storm at the front. And it looks like SFCA actually has enough units to break through the lurkers for now, but the observer does go down, and that's going to force him back now. There's actually a lurker by here. It's very, very hard to see lurkers on this terrain, by the way. So just a tip to any any wannabe or any learning Zerg players playing Ground Zero, put your lurkers in this, and it's very difficult to see. So that's one benefit. Obviously, it does affect maps like Outsider as well, the Ash World tile set. One of my favorites. Just behind the desert one, so kind of interested to see exactly if SFCA can push in, but there's another lot of lurkers down here in the bottom left of this map, going to force SFCA to move back once again. Now we do see an Overlord down here, an Overlord down here as well, just scouting out the links, still checking that there's no base here. We do have a single pylon, but no third base as of yet, so still going to be relying heavily on this +2 army. +2 just about to finish, 8 gateways still, more observers on the way. He's going to go for yet another bust. Does need to try and take down the overlords if he wants to get these zealots in, but great moves by SFCA as he pushes in. A great storm at the back of the Hydra is going to do a lot of damage. Another really good storm, and it looks like +2 is absolutely ripping through the front here of Machine, but he's going to be up against a lot of morphing lurkers, a lot of sunken colonies, and the spore colony at the front going to take down any observers that try and get close. And the lurkers coming in from behind, the links coming in from behind as well, and it looks like SFCA's army is going to get cleaned up. A great move by Machine to funnel him in, and everything from SFCA goes down. We see another small army from SFCA moving out on the map, but Machine has taken the supply lead. And it looks like Machine is going to be the one that's starting to go into more heavy attack. He's going into Hive. Of course, he does have +2 ground attack, +2 carapace, and +2 melee going to be coming in soon as well. But these +2 units from SFCA are going to be incredibly efficient for now, of course. He does need to worry about the fact there are a lot of lurkers, but Machine doesn't look like he wants to throw the game right now. He's just going to play very, very defensively. We've actually got patrolling Scourge here, patrolling Hydros as well to try and take down any possible storm drops or anything like that that come in. We see a couple of patrolling Scourge there as well. Should see similar here, so he's got a couple waiting. But Machine is going to have full saturation across 4 bases now. He's going to be able to go into his fourth gas even. What is the Hive tech going to be for Machine? It's not quite finished up just yet, but we should see a Defiler coming in to help deal with the Dragoons, but there's still a lot of Zealots with this army. And that's going to make it very, very difficult for SFCA, or for Machine to deal with. Now, he's got a lot of lurkers back at home, and that's the one benefit he's got now. Machine being very active with his lings, going to scout out that this base is coming up, and you can see the instant reaction from Machine to try and take this down. The units in reserve by SFCA going to be able to go and clean that up. He actually did lose a High Templar to those lings, so a bit of a miss micro there. But Machine in a fairly strong position still on this map. SFCA unable to take a third gas, and the later the game goes in PvZ, the more and more important gas becomes. Now the gateways are going to be pumping from all cylinders right now for SFCA. He's been on 2 base for a very long time, about to be mined out in his natural. His main is very almost mined out as well. So SFCA is kind of on a bit of a timer. Losing another High Templar there, going to be a big mistake. And it looks like SFCA is kind of unsure where he wants to push with his army, trying to clear off any of the fringe lurkers if he can. +2 attack obviously has been done for quite a while. +1 armor going to be on the way as well, but just look at what we have back here for Machine. He's going in for a Nidus Canal at his natural, an Ultras Cavern in the other main, and I mean SFCA is going to be trying to push in, but he is pushing in into the biggest lurker field he could possibly imagine, and look how quickly those +3 Zealots are evaporating right now against the 1-1 lurkers, or 2-1 lurkers even. And this is such a poor trade by SFCA, and he's getting his units trapped. A good surround by Machine. Gonna be able to take down mostly the Storm. Not getting what he wants to do. And look at the micro by Machine surrounding the army entirely. And SFCA's unit count has been completely reset once again. Okay, so that's going to lead us to a little bit of a lull in the game. Machine up with a very, very big advantage. Soon enough, this mineral only is going to be the only mining base for our Protoss player. Machine has done a fantastic job denying the other bases. And it's going to be so difficult for SFC to move out and expand again. How does he plan on doing it? Is he going to go for this base right here? I think this is logically the only choice he has, and that's exactly what he's going to go for. But by pushing down here, he leaves this exposed. Now, unlike against Terran, where you can actually wall this off with a single pylon against Vultures, you can't wall off Zerglings. So Zergling's going to be able to run up there. We should have the Defiler Mound coming in behind this as well. That's going to be in the main. That's going to be for Consume. No, that's not for Consume, is it? That's for Plague. And Plague is going to be so strong. He is going to have the armor upgrades, but unfortunately the armor is not going to be really helping too much when your units are on like 1 health. But we see a lot of units with 2 upgrades now for Machine. Looking at the upgrades, we won't look at them for now because we're going to have another big engagement. The Storm! The Storm is massive! The High Templar are actually able to run straight up to the Hydralisks. A little bit of a whiff storm there, but another great one there. And that's the sort of move that we do need to see from SFCA if he wants to come back in that game. He's cleared up a lot of the units, but a lot of units going into this top left. No Defiler here for a Dark Swarm, unfortunately. And the units at the bottom half of the map have been cleaned up, but there's more Lings coming in from the top. I'm trying to click one of them to see their upgrades. 2 upgrades already. The cannon's getting cancelled immediately. Hydralis moving up here as well. Crackling upgrade has been finished. Look how quickly they are demolishing this Nexus. Was that a cancel? I don't think he managed to cancel. So unfortunate. What a pimp play! He's blocking the ramp with Lurker Eggs. Unable to save his 4th expansion. SFCA is going to find himself in a very tough spot. Now we actually see a Lurker drop at the top of the map. Going to kill 6 probes up here. What a great move, and nice. Storm does go down to clean those up, but that's a lot of damage being done to a Protoss that's economy is already in tatters. Now, oh my god, he has the Storm there. A little bit of a forced Storm, but the poor High Templar would have died otherwise. But is going to be able to manage to save this for now once again. But we see more and more Lings moving in. We're slowly starting to see the macro of Machine kicking in. He's got his 5th base now. And this is when Machine is going to become unbreakable, really. He's on 3 upgrades on his range. And no matter how many Storms you have, you're on limited funds right now, SFCA. Another Lurker has been dropped in the top middle. This is no mining currently going on for SFCA. He cannot retrieve any minerals right now, and Machine is going in for the killing blow. A nice Storm on a lot of the Hydra is going to help him hold on, but for how long? Hydralisks and Lings moving in. This Lurker still alive at the top of the base, and GG! SFCA is taken down by Machine in the 3rd game of this series. Now, of course, that is a good PvC. I'm kind of glad we got to see a PvC like that today. Obviously, we did have 2 pretty long TVTs, and that was a pretty long PvC as well. So that's going to take us over to our 4th and possibly final game with media up to match point. And it's going to be up to VT's next player to see if they can hang on and make their way through to the ace match. So see you guys when I get back from this.